Picture of the whole canal. I'll just do this little spiel real quick first. So it's the red line is this canal, and this just shows how important it was to Pennsylvania to get stuff out, basically. Are you from out of town?
Yeah.
Okay, how about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could,
How many people live in this small town?
a lot of people.
I know, I'm surprised. I'm from Middle River,
Mm-hmm.
and I walk on a lot of these bridges and driving up and down and everything. And you go, well, Havre de Grace is, small town. And I'm just driving through now, and I'm like, well,
I know, it's
should have
bigger
moved here
than-
20 years ago.
Oh yeah. So even I moved here 15 years ago, and the people that bought here it was decrepit 15 years ago. Like the recession hit this so
Yeah,
hard.
that's the kind of people who's talking about, it's all gone and everything, but
Oh, it's cute. It picked up. They did something right here. So it's really nice here. And we actually put a bid in for that yellow house. We bid 50 over asking. And
This
still
one right
got-
here?
Yeah. We still
And still didn't get it.
Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're glad we didn't get it though. Because we didn't really have the financial means to take care of that type of thing.
Yeah, bigger the house, the more it takes to take care.
Yeah, and it's old too. So
Oh, really?
So you know that you have a lot of need for
Yeah.
trying to.
and they go back to me like, I love this idea. I'm like, well, you're gonna be part of cleaning it up.
Well, you're not just gonna hang out here, you're gonna.
Right, you're not just another pretty face.
I mean, in his defense, he can mow the lawn, and he can't do it because rain's been so bad.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So that's a working model of this lock. I can show you this first.
So where the body of water is, okay, so,
Okay. So
explain it to me.
okay. So this is actually, if you look at this and kind of look out our window,
Right?
it's the same. Like so, this way is the bay, and this way is up.
Okay, gotcha.
Now the one thing that people get a little wrapped up on the axle is this is the river, this is the canal.
Okay.
The canal doesn't go back into the river. It's its own separate thing running alongside the river.
Oh, okay.
Now it feels
So
kind
it
of
never meets? The canal never
Well, at some
it
point.
meets here and it meets in Wrightsville. And there are opportunities to kind of get off the turnpike, if you may, but it's not, you're in a separate little body of water because there's no flow, there's no current, so you're able to go up or down, no problem. It's skinny right here in the locks, but it expands huge at other parts. And then you had the towpath going down for the mules.
So what's the difference? Is there a lot of difference in the level of the water?
Yep. So on this map, I can actually show you all of it.
This works?
Yep. I can do it. I'll play it real quick. So right now it's low, so everything's closed, and the lock tender or one of his kids would come out and turn all those. And then you see the boat rising.
So you open the valves up and the water up, so the boat is rising now.
Right.
Yeah.
You ever watch Panama Canal, watching specials on that? It's crazy how they do it.
So this works on the same principle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Same principle, just different technology. So We just did a cruise to Antarctica, and I think the next one I want to do is through the Panama Canal. But
That
I'm
would
not
be
getting on
really
a boat for 14 days ever again.
Yeah. I'll think of it.
So, and then you go down, be this way. So, like I said, it's mule powered. So if it was going to another canal where they needed mules, the mules would hop on a boat. It's 2 sets of 2 mules usually. Then, if they're just taking a call to Baltimore and coming right back, the mules could cross over the bridge. This swing bridge still works, but with that rain, we're never going to get it to move right now. We're going to be ankle deep in mud.
So
Two
what would the
mules is
mules be used?
Pulling the boat, right?
They pull the boat.
See, look, they hook the thing up and they pull it. They have to get it out of the lock. See?
And then the mules pull it all the way up to whatever
Yep. And
destination it is.
and they got the 2 pairs to keep them fresh.
Oh, wow.
And it's floating, so it's probably,
It's not bad.
Yeah,
And
right,
then
right.
usually as a child operating the mules out there, like they say between 8 and 10.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you gotta know how to do the ropes because if a boat's coming your way, you gotta know, up
Sure,
and down.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Neat.
So this map is just the question is actually right here.
Okay.
So this one was about 5 feet.
Okay.
I think the biggest was like 12 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see it all there, and all that information lines right up with little set of dashes.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep, and those are the locks.
Interesting.
So 43 miles, 214 feet difference to the whole thing, and 29 locks. So 19 in Pennsylvania and 10 in Maryland.
And how long it took in terms of days?
2 or 3 days to travel the whole thing. But it would it took 3 years to dig the whole thing out. This was 100% private.
And when did they dig it out?
1836 to
Wow. And
1839.
how long would it take them?
3 years.
Wow, they probably had a whole lot of people, man.
Yeah.
How many people died doing it?
Yeah, I don't even want to know. Like, someone asked once about slavery.
I'm
like,
impressed for 3 years, really.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's kind of quick.
So they built the whole canal, and they also built this bridge connecting Wrightsville and Columbia, where they that's how the coal got from like that side of the river down to this side. So in 1863, following the Battle of Gettysburg, the order was to burn all the bridges. So the Union Army didn't burn down that bridge.
Wow.
They're privately owned bridge. So not too happy. Shut down the canal for a season. They rebuilt it. And actually, Wrightsville commemorates the bridge burning every year. I hear it's really cool. I've seen videos of it. I got to see it in person sometime.
Right.
And then in 1888, when the same storm that caused the Johnstown flood continued across the state, it hit this rocky patch. So, and it broke all the locks. Now, broken locks were a thing. Every year they would drain the canal, drain the locks, and they would fix anything needed to fix. But at that point, they were like, you know what, enough's enough. We're not making a lot of money off this anymore. Because it took so long to get the canal off the ground, that's why they had to dig it out so quickly. Railroad and that successful, like, all-year type operation was really starting to beat down. So they just gave it up.
And when did they stop using it?
About 1901.
Okay.
So in 1888, 1889, the Pennsylvania side stopped working, which meant the coal wasn't coming down. But in the 50 years it was in operation, little businesses popped up like these kilns, a couple of quarries, canning businesses,
Right.
but not enough to really sustain it. So we don't exactly know when like the last boat went through
Right.
because it just kind of died slowly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Now what we
Slow down.
yeah. So what we do know though is in 1901, the Conowingo Dam's plants were starting, and they knew that was going to really just be the end of it.
Yeah.
So they had to buy out the rest. The power company had to buy out the canal, and that's really when it really ended. This property became the property of the power company, and they did that for years.
Right.
And then in the 70s, they deeded this back to the city. It was in disrepair at that point, and they put some money into it, made it, restored it the best they could.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
The engineering that went into it back then is still amazing. You just
Right?
you make work with what you have. You have to
I
figure
know.
something out.
Yeah.
It's like necessity is the mother of
That's,
invention.
Yeah.
that's exactly right. Yeah. Wow.
where are we on
Cool.
this map?
So if you just go straight up on number 1.
So this is number 1 lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this is number 1 or number 29, depending on how you look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, from if you're on the top, then it's 29.
Yeah.
Is it the first one in Maryland? Is that why you say 1?
So I say 1 because it's the start or end of the whole canal.
Okay.
So, you know, most the money was coming down. So a lot of people see this as the last stop.
Gotcha.
You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so from Pennsylvania, this would be 29
Yeah.
to them.
And then, so when they did the thing like I did in the model, this is a 250-pound piece of cast iron, and it would be a 10 to 15-foot pole, and then they would put this thicket crank at the top, and then turn it like how many times. It's really not that bad to turn.
It's balanced.
Yeah.
So that will open the sluices on the bottom.
Yep. So, and this is all done to scale. So like this is barely the size of a fingernail, and this is here. So this is a very well done scale model.
Very cool. But you've learned a lot about this,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah. But it's interesting because when we do travel, like we do kind of get drawn to canals to see how it's done differently.
Yeah.
Let's see what they did.
Right.
Yeah, and how fun to read about, our area in Texas. You know?
Yeah, right. It's like so weird. I remember like seeing it, like, what were you guys doing? I left to drink last night. So yeah, this is it. So the type of boat was very simple and similar. They were all about 15 feet wide and 70, 90 feet long, and it could hold up to 145 tons of coal.
Wow.
And then they would live on the boat. The mules would be on the boat. The mules that weren't being used would be on the boat. So, it wasn't small.
Right.
Did they transport anything else other than coal?
Some things like maybe some stuff from a quarry, like limestone, a kiln, canned goods. Commercial canning actually got its start in this area, but not a lot because coal is just disgusting. So the boats were gross, so they didn't really want to put anything very good in there.
So the boats would have been had to be specially kept for
Yeah.
those goods.
And they would go up and down. So apparently before the canal was built, because you really can't get past the rapids between like 8 and 9 on that map, some of the buildings downtown were actually built from the wood of boats. That's the
didn't make
rumor.
it, huh?
Yeah, that's
So
it.
they dismantled it and repurposed it.
Yeah.
Remember?
So who actually owned the boats?
The driver, the family that was in there.
Okay, which wouldn't have been the lock keeper.
Nope.
So wherever they started out, whatever area they were working, they would probably
Was the coal
have
yards
their
open?
boats.
With the coal yard, so they bought it to them and they transported it for them as a separate
Yeah.
company that
I
transported it.
guess it was just like the truckers
Yep,
today.
it's exactly like truckers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They got
That's usually what we
paid to
say.
haul it.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's exactly like truckers today, and it's they never did that. And then, but some of the coal companies had their fingerprint on the wharves, so that after this, the mules couldn't take you into the water at this point. So the wharves were back here. They'd get tugboats to tug you the rest of the way, either maybe across the river to the C&D
So now
Canal.
they backcharged the boats.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Well, so they would tug you to another canal, and it would cost money. But that was the canal company. The coal companies tended to own the towboats.
It's always a gimmick.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So-
So trying to get a little piece of this, yeah.
So we've seen the coal companies owning it, and the state of Pennsylvania owned one of the bigger companies as well, which is interesting because they were very against the canal starting,
Right.
and then they were like, "Well,
Yeah,
how
might
do
as
we
well
get
go ahead and
advantage
make
of
some money on this.
Yeah.
It's coming.
So that's the same principle as what they had in West Virginia. The factories or they own the town and they own. You had to buy or rent the house
Companies
from
have-
them,
Yeah, that's
and
a
you
big
had to
thing.
go in and buy their grocery stuff.
Yeah.
So you
That
had to
was-
spend the money there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of.
And you get in debt to the country.
Everybody was
Right.
a slave, really.
End up
Yeah.
working
So
for,
everybody
pay
somehow
off your
always figured out how to
debt.
get the
They
money.
controlled you.
Yeah.
You want to eat, you're gonna have to stay here.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
everything from the company I work for. Interesting.
So interesting.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So they had their own mules and everything. They would just bring their mules with them and cart them out when they
Yep.
were done.
And those
So
elements-
every lock system worked the same way, where they needed the mules to move them back and forth through the
Exactly.
lock.
So yeah, if they were going to another canal, the mules had to stick with them. If they were just going to Baltimore, the mules could just have a weekend in Havre de Grace, and then
Right.
yeah,
Wow.
they'll come back for them.
See that?
Yeah, that's anthracite coal, so it's much lighter, and it does make your fingers dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
My relatives are West Virginia coal miners and stuff. Wasn't a very good job.
No.
I mean, it was for that area, but they all had black lung and
Yeah, right.
it was really hard
Yeah.
conditions
So
back in the day.
the wild thing is that all this coal, so each boat held 145 tons of coal, right?
Yeah.
Each ton of coal only gave the company about 2 pennies when it made its way all the way to the final sale.
So back then, even back then, it don't seem like a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But even think about this: how much money were they making?
Right.
Like, how much coal were they getting out of that mountain?
Yeah, right.
They literally have universities named after these people.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the next room is the office, and it's a lot of stuff to read on the walls and stuff. But this kind of shows the business side of it.
Yeah.
And then the following room is the kitchen. We use that to kind of get little kids engaged, you know.
Yeah.
And then upstairs is all self-guided.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have any questions, just let me know. You're very sick.
Thank you so much.
Coal collection. Didn't bring my glasses, find out how much they were charging. Looks to me like it went by tons.
The toll collector, agent and representative of the Susquehanna and Tidewater Canal Company acted as a bookkeeper, kept track of cargo traveling through the lock, and collected the tolls for use of the canal.
So
90 tons, 92 tons, 99 tons.
What did they say?
The balance, I guess that was balance. Is that money?
Somebody was keeping a book.
Oh yeah, the toll collector. He was the one that kept all this stuff. Oh wow.
I was wanted to see if they say how much they charge by the ton.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he recorded every tonnage that he.
Oh yeah, they were paying. Yeah.
Who drove this?
The son of Carville Massland of Lockton
Carbon boss.
to Baltimore.
What the hell it took? Say.
No, it
Well,
doesn't.
38 pounds seems kind of heavy for a bike, though.
It's all metal.
Wait, note that this bike will cost $150 when I locked in a Sally was $1,000.
I know, that's pretty.
Right?
Pretty
Well,
amazing.
that's a luxury.
That is.
Ooh. Candle making stuff.
Brandon, I'm going upstairs. Oh, ain't that elevator?
Not today.
Not today.
The other museum has it, both of them.
Did you go to the decoy?
Yes, I went there first and then I went to the Maritime Museum
Yeah,
too.
yeah, so did we.
Yeah, so, one of the days today,
And where do you live?
I live in Middle River.
New River?
Middle River.
Middle River.
Yeah, just outside of Baltimore.
Is that Delaware or is
That's Middle
Maryland?
Maryland, yes.
I've seen a lot of that over the years. That's how you used to do a lot of it. Different kinds of coal.
Warm up here.
Keep this here. Not as much as you think it would be. Well, it cost to navigate a 40-ton arc from Otsego, New York to Conewago, Pennsylvania, distance 250 miles, about $50. You got some insurance back there.
I don't think they had insurance back then.
Makes you want to go look at that Discovery Channel, the Panama Canal.
A lot of people died building that.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Wow. Well, they got the years, 1900 starts here.
1836.
Yeah, wow.
Like that, that's how they looked at it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Warm air come up to upstairs.
Yeah, yeah. Just natural.
Yeah.
Didn't notice that. Yeah, that's pretty wild.